Hi, all my lovelies. Welcome to October here at the Siberian Wind. I'm Tammy, and I'm glad to be your host for another wonderful After Sunset Sunday. Okay, I promise I won't be spooky the whole time. Okay, welcome in, you guys. Glad you made it. Let me turn my phone on silent so it is not disturbing us. Or shouldn't be disturbing us a whole lot. How are you all doing? I saw Kathy and Joyce and Susan and Chloe and Pam all in the chat. Thank you all for being here. You guys are fantastic. Let's see. Susan says that she's tired. She did some packing before church this morning, and then after church, she's emptying her kitchen cupboards. I totally get it. Yeah, absolutely, Pam. I wish Susan was closer. I would go help as well. Pam, you're right. It could be an emoji. It could be all kinds of things. YouTube is super, super picky. So there is no telling what you did to get in there. Lori, she says, hi, Tammy. Welcome in, Lori. Donnell says, hey there. OMG, I love the setup. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My husband does a fantastic job decorating. And I actually have special lights in my ceiling, and I have LED lights. You guys cannot see the LED lights that are up along the top, but one of my lights is going to continue to change color throughout the night. It is changing color slowly. These guys should be changing or off and on slow. It should not be flickering. I do not want to trigger seizures. And then we have our sewing machine tucked back in here. So if you guys have not voted yet, please, please, please go vote. Go see, what you're gonna do. What you want to name him? What do you want to name him? Let's see. Rayanne, she says, hey, happy fall, everyone. Welcome in, Rayanne. The Wyoming fires. No, they are not technically close to me. Kathy says, as long as they don't strobe on. Yeah, no, they should not. I do not have them set to strobe, and now that the live has started, I am not changing the lighting pattern. So every time you guys come on to my live, the tree may be doing different lights than what you see tonight, but it will not strobe. I will not be setting it to strobe. Glenda is here. She says, hello, Tammy and everyone. Welcome, welcome, Glenda. Glad you are here, sweetie. Glad you are here. And Glenda says, awesome setup, Tammy. Thank you, thank you. My husband put a lot of hard work into it. And so, yeah, I'm going to celebrate every last bit of it. If you guys cannot read, my shirt says happy fall, y'all. And I am honestly thinking that every Tuesday night I may be dressed up something different. So I may be getting out Halloween costumes for starting on Tuesday. So we're going to see. Donnell says that she just cut more fabric to record her modern tumbling blocks, so hoping to start recording that tomorrow. Absolutely, Donnell, that is awesome. I am actually going to finish assembling the center section of the star-crossed path. I've got to put borders on it as well, so that I can do the final pictures, and then I'm still going to have to take the borders and one row back off and finagle and all of that mess to put that one row on the back. Welcome in, Rob. He says, hello, Tammy and friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Kathy says, I'll have to watch that. I've never done a tumbling block. Yeah, it is actually not a traditional tumbling block, Kathy. Andrea's pattern for the tumbling blocks is very different from a traditional tumbling blocks. I love it, Rayanne. She says, okay, your husband is way ahead on brownie points. Right? He is trying. He is definitely trying. I guess that's so he can ask for favors, because he came home and I'm going to be doing some additional sewing for the theater costumes for the play that opens this week. So I have a deadline now that I did not expect to have. So yeah, it's going to be cool. All right, so Beauty is going to have her full light on tonight, so she kind of glows. I'm going to bring you guys over. So I don't know how much of it you guys will be able to see. So I do apologize. The lighting does kind of affect what you can and cannot see. So I am very sorry about that, but I cannot see the machine if I do not have the light on. So you guys will be getting the light, but I'm going to try to make it as minimal as possible. So that's what I'm actually making adjustments to right now. Making it as minimal as possible so you guys can still see the spooky goodness behind me and around me. Gotta love the decorations. Gotta love the Halloween decorations, right? Right. Okay. I am loving them. I'll just put it that way. I'm loving them. So, let's see. Oh, Chloe, yes. If I did not say your name, Chloe, I am so sorry. Welcome. Glad you are here. Love the sign Scary Quilt. I know, right? And I can put it to say other things, but when he sent me the original pictures of how he set the room up, it had the Scary Quilter on it, and I just haven't bothered changing it. And I kind of think it's kind of cute. You know, it's kind of cute. So here's what I'm working on tonight. So I told you guys I'm working on finishing out my star-crossed path with Andrea. I have put sashing, and because of the lighting, you guys, you're not able to really see the difference in this sashing. That is due to my overhead and my track lights around the room. So that is not there is sashing in here. I promise there is sashing in here. Let's see if I can get a block that it will show. There we go. These should show. Let me get off of them. I've rolled onto my quilt, you guys. So there is sashing between these blocks. You just, again, because of the overhead lighting and all of the other lighting, you guys cannot probably see it. So I do apologize, but it is what it is. So I put all my rows together, and I went ahead and web pieced them as though that they were going to go directly together without sashing, just so that I did not get out of order, because I was likely going to get out of order. I went to a quilt show this weekend, you guys. I went on Saturday to the quilt show in Gillette, Wyoming, and it was a fantastic time. I actually saw quite a few people who recognized me from Quilt Wyoming and my time there. And so I got to say hi to a couple of people, and overall it was a good time. It was a good time. Chloe says, wonderful decorating by time, right? He does a fantastic job. He really does. I'm looking for my paper. Sorry. I have put everything out of reach because I did not think ahead to anything. There we go. I also have been working on my clients' quilts. Those are bound now, and the ties are on the top row. I'm going to have to hand sew the ties to the middle of the quilts so that they are in place, so they can be used to tie the quilts together. So I haven't done everything to them, so I've got a little bit left to do on them, but I wanted to get some knocked out on this tonight. I am so sorry that the light is as bright as it is, you guys. I cannot turn it down any further and still be able to see. Susan says, especially when you have a good-sized stash of fabrics, patterns, and a decent-sized library of novels, says Susan. Yes. Yeah, packing is a challenge. Now, I will tell you, when we packed up to move up here, one of my prized possessions is my water globe collection. The boxes do get heavy fast. So my water globe collection is always the first thing that gets packed. It might not be the first thing that gets unpacked, but it is always the first thing that gets packed, because I am not going to skimp on packaging for them. So my water globe collection, I think I packed it in book boxes, the square boxes from U-Haul. And I think it took 4 boxes. Did it take 4 or 6? I can't remember how many boxes it took. But it took a good number of boxes to pack my water globes and all my breakable items from my curio. All of those items go in together. I don't separate them out. But yeah, they get heavy too. I did finally sell off my bead collection, so I don't still have my bead collection hanging around. So that's a positive as well. At the quilt show, I did pick up a couple of things. So, Tuesday I am giving away the Sew and Tell giveaway quilt, which is super exciting. It is washed. I just need to put a label on it. That is all that is pending. So I'm going to, when I'm doing all my embroidery starting tomorrow, I will embroider out a label for that quilt. What else am I going to do? Oh my gosh, you guys. This has been like a busy Sunday, so I am so sorry. It has not been the super laid back usual Sunday for me. It has been super insanely busy. My neighbor is back up to her old antics and knocking on the ceiling again. Welcome in, Marissa. Glad you are here, sweetie. My neighbor is back knocking on the ceiling, so we've got to have another conversation with apartment management. Laura, welcome in. She says, hi, Tammy and everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So how many of you are super excited for Tuesday? So we have a lot going on Tuesday, you guys. You will want to be here. You will want to be here. So the quilt giveaway, you do not have to be present to win. That is because, we've got people from 6 months back that have submitted for that. So you do not have to be present to win for that. Welcome in, Laura. Welcome in, Melina. Glad you guys are here. Let's see. Linda says, did I name my sewing machine? This guy is Beauty, but no, I have not named him yet. He is getting his name Tuesday. So you guys need to go to my short, go click on the link, and go vote. Go vote on what, or go tell me what you think Mr. Skeleton sewing machine thingy back there should be. Welcome in, Helen. Welcome in, Judy. Welcome, welcome. Join in the chat. I'm glad you guys are here. I really do love these Sunday nights, you guys. They are so relaxing. They are so relaxing for me. Even if I am running 90 miles an hour, I am still, this is my time. This is my time to hang with you guys and really just get that fabric time in. I definitely needed fabric time today. So I have been sewing non-stop since this morning. I've definitely been going round and round and round. So Tuesday we are giving away the Sew and Tell quilt. I do not have any pictures up of it, and I had to take it down. Welcome in, Becky. She says hello from Texas. I think it's the first time I've seen you on my channel. Glad you are here, sweetie. Thank you for checking in with the chat. I appreciate it. We are always glad to have new people hanging out with us. Even if you've been hanging out and just lurking, glad you are finally in the chat. All right, so we've got that row put on. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull the next row and go ahead and attach the next row. So I know this is hard to see, so I apologize. Let me see if I can get it in front of the machine and see if that helps. So I have got the sashing between the blocks already, and now I'm putting it between the rows. And on this pattern, you are not putting sashing on the outsides, so I don't need to worry about putting any on the outside edges. There's no need for that with this quilt. It is plenty big without it. Plenty big. All right, this should be the next row, so I'm going to cut it off so I have it. Let's see. Becky says that she's been here but didn't comment. That's okay. That is okay with me. I will not judge you for that. I do that quite a bit. Even if I don't comment, I do go and check out everybody's channels as much as I can. It is a grand time. Grand time. But I love having people in my chat. It really is encouraging, so I appreciate you chatting tonight. All right. So what I'm going to do now is instead of, and I'm going to show you guys, so let me move this out of the way so I can move my chair. Okay. So instead of, this is the row that I'm about to add to the quilt, okay? And this is the row that it is going on to. Is that the right direction? Let me make sure. Yes, that is the right direction. Okay. So even though it is going on here, you can do this one of two ways. You can either put the row with the sashing on bottom, or you can put the row without the sashing on bottom. I am going to put the sashing on bottom, so I am flipping back, and I'm going to sew on top. So you can go either direction, unless your pattern says something different. This one does not. It lets you have the freedom to choose. So now I just got to remember. Okay, while I'm thinking about it, the things that I got at the quilt show. So the next 6-month quilt, so that will be, let's see, this is October that we just did. So the October's closed. So we're looking November, December, January, February, March, April. So the next Sew and Tell giveaway will be in April. So I have until April to get that quilt made. But I picked up a panel at the quilt show, and it's a Moda panel, and it says, "Hello Sunshine." Oh, you know what? I got it. Hang on. Let me show you guys. And bear with, the colors are going to be off because of the lights. So just bear with, okay? So, let's see. Rob says, "Tammy won't be able to be there with me Tuesday. Evacuation Tuesday, later evening, or later afternoon, early evening." No worries, Rob. No worries. I completely understand, sir. I am doing some live giveaways Tuesday. The Sew and Tell giveaway, if you win that, you don't have to be present. But all the others will be live. That's the only difference. Alright, so this panel has these 2 blocks here. As you guys are seeing, the house and the friendship stars. Then we have sunny days. And there is sunshine in my soul today. Then we have keep your face always towards the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. It's a Walt Whitman statement. And then a lone star, I believe. Feathered star. I don't know. It's a star. Then we have this star block. And then we have Hello Sunshine. So the colors are much prettier in person, I promise. The lighting, the lighting is going to screw with it. We're not going to have this lighting on Tuesday, so don't panic. Tuesday we'll go back to regular lighting. But I will be probably in makeup, so just bear with that. Let's see. I believe he does have a place to go. Becky is asking, "Rob, do you have a place to go?" Pam saying, "Be safe, Rob." And Chloe says, "We will miss you." Absolutely. I'm going to miss you, for sure. And yes, he does have a place to go. Good deal. Katie, I love it. She says, "Skips into the channel." And Jess, welcome. She says, "Hello, Tammy in chat." You guys, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. If you have not hit that thumbs up, please do that. Please do that for me. Let YouTube know that you are happy to be here and you love this time slot and you love this channel for this time slot. That helps my channel out quite a bit. So I do appreciate the love, if you guys do not mind. It only takes that extra little second or two. Yeah, I definitely can't do these lights every day. These are some funky lights tonight. We are going to do some different colored lights every night, or every Sunday night. Saturday should probably stay about the same, and then Tuesday the lights will be fine, but my outfit will be different. We are going to go creative with my outfits on Tuesday nights, provided that nothing major has stopped me that day. Glenda says, "Very pretty, Tammy." Thank you. So I am going to put those 8 blocks together and make another lap size quilt, and that will be the next 6-month Sew and Tell giveaway. Ooh, good question. Katie's asking if everyone saw the picture of her Northern Lights on her community tab. Very good question, Katie. I don't know if I saw them or not. However, I will go look. I have, sorry, gotta lean in front of the camera, get a caffeine refill. I I, for the first time, have seen Northern Lights in person, and I was blown away. I've always seen like all these pictures of Northern Lights and everything else, and granted you couldn't see the Northern Lights with the naked eye very clearly, but you could definitely take a picture, and they were just phenomenal. And it's an experience I never thought I would ever get to have. So having moved to Wyoming where you can see the Aurora Borealis more frequently, absolutely fantastic. Katie and Linda both saw your Northern Lights pictures, and you shot some good pictures tonight and only posted one. Okay, sounds good. I'll have to go take a look at your Northern Lights and see how they differ from mine. Because my understanding is that where we are on the globe will determine how those Northern Lights will appear. And I'd have to go back and look and see exactly when my Northern Lights night was. I do have it dated. Kathy says that's on her bucket list. Yes, absolutely should be. If you go to an area where the Northern Lights are more common, they're common here, but they're not every night kind of common. But if you go to an area where they are more common, you wouldn't necessarily have to plan to make a very quick trip once you know that the lights will be coming to that area. I have to drive 15-20 minutes out of town. So is moving to Alaska, says Kathy. I don't blame you. All right. Oops. Katie, you got Nightbot upset. I'm sorry. Nightbot said, stop spamming symbols. And you just got a warning. Yep, Katie, she says, the bot just nailed her. Let's see. Becky says, hiya, Katie, and the rest of you all. And Judy says, okay, Rob, if you get to Georgia, I was going to try and help you get in a safe place. Awesome. That's fantastic, you guys. I love that you guys are helping each other out. I love this community that we have. It is absolutely fantastic. I would not trade that for the world. Would not trade it. Okay, so what did I get? I got, at the quilt show, I got that panel. I did get 3 yards of fabric that was at the boutique. So people donate fabric and other items like kits and, tools, and there was a machine there. People donate things for the quilt show to sell, and that funds next year's quilt show. I love it. Kathy says, this group is why I stay up so late on a Sunday night. Katie, you cannot hide from the bot. Sorry. Does not work that way. So they have a boutique, and so all the donated things get priced in order to sell. I mean, it's not that they're like, super high priced, and they're not, super low priced, but they're priced to sell so that the show makes some money to go towards next year's show. And so I bought 3 yards of a Michael Miller fabric that's absolutely fell in love with. 3 yards for $3. I could not turn that down. I mean, they had more fabric out there, don't get me wrong, but that I could not turn down. So I bought that. I also bought a panel. I'm going to make something for probably my dad, because he used to work on semi-trucks, and there's a panel out, and once I pull it back out, I can read you guys the salvage information on it. But I got the panel at a discount because of show pricing and all, but it has 2 different semi-trucks on it. So I will be making a semi-truck themed quilt for probably my dad. My husband drove semi-trucks, but my husband's gotten a lot of quilts in the last few years. I haven't specifically made my dad just a quilt, so I may make him just a quilt. So he has one himself. Kathy is shocked at something. Okay, I will wait to find out what. And then Magic Pins, the company that makes Magic Pins, they now have out these pins that have letters and numbers on the pin. So I've seen like a lot of like the lettering and numbering pin type things where you can like pin the numbers or pin the letters, like alphabeties and such. But these are actually Magic Pins brand, and they're actual pins, and the letters are on them. Now it only goes up to the letter N. The price I got that fabric, yeah, it was fantastic. I could not turn that down. So the Magic Pins have letters and then numbers through, I think, 12 and some arrow ones. So I picked that up, and that I got a 15% discount on. So I couldn't turn that down either. Lori says that she just finished cutting the last of her 100 star pieces. So tomorrow. Awesome. It is fantastic when you get to that point. All right. So I now have my sashing piece sewn in between my 2 rows. And am I making sure that my blocks are lining up exactly? No. Are they going to be okay? They're going to be okay. They're absolutely going to be okay. And I'm not going to stress about it. That's as simple as it's going to get. I am not stressing at this point. If I need to fix something in the broad daylight, I will fix something in the broad daylight. But I don't necessarily need to fix anything tonight. So my project after this, after the live tonight, is I got to design a couple of patches for name tags to go on a couple of characters for the local theater for their upcoming performance that starts this week. Friends and Family Night is Thursday night that I'm going to. So it's going to be a bit of a busy week. Very busy week coming up. Kathy says that she's trimming quarter square triangles for the Creative Notions Presley's Dream Quilt. I don't think I've seen that one. I may have to go check that out. And then Pam says that she was at a quilt shop yesterday and got some Tula and Cafe. Certainly way above Tammy's score. I also got my 37D foot for my new to me Bernita. Perfect, Pam. You're going to enjoy that foot. That's going to give you that solid quarter. Whereas, you know, the 97 is that scan quarter. That 37 is going to be more like what you're used to. Kathy says that she uses the 37D all the time. I actually do not own the 37D. I don't own 37D or 5070. So if you guys decide that you don't want those feet anymore, I will be more than happy to give you an address to ship to. You know, it's one of those things, right? But no, you guys don't. You guys keep your feet, but if you guys ever decide that you don't want them, I will be more than happy to find a new home for them. But you will love that foot. That is a fantastic foot. It's great for piecing. And it's much better for that solid 1/4 inch. I definitely sew with a scant on almost everything. And when I need a full 1/4, I can make that adjustment, but I definitely have to think about it. So it's easier to not have to think. Kathy says that is the one that stays on my machine, so I can use the dual control feet. Now, I've got 9070. So I have that dual feet as well. But it has, instead of a full 1/4, it is a scant 1/4. Now, there is a full 1/4 marking on it. But you have to think about it and intentionally put yourself out at that 1/4. Now, you guys can't see it. Okay, yeah, you guys really cannot see it. Okay. I will show you in a minute. What I did, I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough sashing. So when I sashed all my blocks, I cut the extra fabric. And I have pieces that are about this long. And they are between my really long pieces. And so I'm getting multiple seams all at the same time. But it's all going in there. Kathy says, Jess is so easy to do. She has a video back in March About doing a mini shamrock. Okay, wait, did I miss? All right. Jess says that she's working on an FPP project. She's never done one before. This is fun. I may be in trouble. Oh, Jess, you have no idea. You're not maybe in trouble. You are in trouble. As soon as you start FPP, it is very addicting. And it's mindless in some respects because you don't have to worry about that 1/4 inch seam. Everything is taken care of for you. So that's the fun part of FPP for me, is not having to consciously think about it. And as long as you are sewing on that line, you are safe. And that's the fantastic thing about it. Let's see. That was the first one Kathy had ever done, was the shamrock. Ooh. And she says FPP is fabulous. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, I've done a lot of FPP in the past. One of the, like, I've done all kinds of FPP. I did a quilt for my sister-in-law, and it was mini schnauzers. She and her roommate, the lady that owns a house that she lives in. So basically she's a tenant, but it's like she's the house manager, so it's complicated. But anyway, they have the mini schnauzers. Guys, those dogs are so stinking cute. But I would not own a mini schnauzer to save my life. It is not my thing. They're cute, but they're not my dog. But I did an entire quilt of mini schnauzers. That quilt was so stinking cute. Just so many pieces in it. What else have I done? I'm actually designing one. The temperature quilt that I am issuing out at the end of the year. I'm trying to get it done before January 1st. Is my goal. Is before January 1st. And that quilt is foundation paper pieced as well. But it is also curved piecing in addition to foundation paper piecing. So if you are really wanting a challenge, that will be it. That will be a big challenge. Alright, so I'm rotating these back. So now I need to grab my next row. And that is going to be this. The nice thing is with this quilt, the blocks go in a row across the quilt. They diagonally across the quilt. So it's super easy to make sure that you are sewing the right blocks in the right places, because it's going to be visually pleasing to your eye when you are putting it together. It's just going to make sense. Let's put it that way. It's going to make sense. And of course, yes, I'm doing fast and loose with the law on how I'm piecing, because I haven't even done some pressing that I should have done. But that's me. I don't recommend you follow my example on that, but it is what it is. So I am lining up, when I get started, I am lining up the top of my row, or the edge of my row, to each other, because the sashing is going horizontally across the quilt for right now. So I am lining up the edges of my block to make sure that that is lined up. And again, like I said, if I have something that I see in the broad light of daylight that I just can't live without, or can't live without fixing, I will fix it. Jess says she'll definitely look into that quilt because it'll take 2 birds with 1 stone. She's always wanted to do that quilt. And what better way to practice a new love skill? Exactly. Exactly. It's going to be fantastic. And I will be doing sew-along days for the temperature quilt starting in the new year. I just don't know what day of the week yet. I'm thinking it will probably be one or 2 Tuesdays a month. We'll work on it. Or it will be once a month we'll have a, let's hang out and do the whole month kind of thing. Like, I will do the whole month. But I'll, of course, have got my weeks in, where I can. All of that kind of stuff. The simple stuff, right? I'm crazy. Y'all can ignore me for parts of it. I apologize. I'm caffeinated. I am caffeinated. I need to be more caffeinated, but I'm as caffeinated as I can be at the moment. So we're just going to go with that. We're just going to go with caffeinated. So yeah, we're starting that Land That I Love in November, and that will be Thursday nights. So we will have Tuesday nights at 6, Thursday nights at 7 Mountain Time. So Kathy, that will be actually, hang on, you said 6 o'clock your time. So that would be 5 o'clock my time. Oops, okay. So let me back that up. That's going to be 6 o'clock on Tuesdays, 5 o'clock on Thursdays, and 8 o'clock on Sundays. So yeah, 5, 6, and 8. But in Thursday, Tuesday, and Sunday. So yeah, we will be adjusting our times. I'm not going to guarantee anything for Saturdays going into November, starting in November. Yeah, but I don't want to put it too late. Because I know a lot of people are going to be off about the same time that you are. And if we put it super late, the people that have to work on Friday might not be able to join us. So I want to make it so that everybody can join us as much as possible. So that, or we might do it 6 o'clock my time. So 6 o'clock Tuesday, 6 o'clock Thursday, and then 8 o'clock Sunday. Just to make it simple. That may be what we do. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. She says if it's later is easier, that's fine. I'm just thinking about if I have doctor's appointments. If I put it too early in the day, I don't know if I'm going to be rushing to get home to get going for the live or not. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see. All right. This is going together fantastic, you guys. I am in love with this quilt. I will be in love with the fact that it will be done. Is that bad? I'm going to be happy that it's done. I'm going to be satisfied that it's done. I still have outer borders, so those won't be going on tonight, I don't think. I don't think I'm going to have time for that tonight. Of course, it's only 8:30. Guys, we've only been live like 30 minutes. My mind is blown. How have I already got my third row? I'm already attaching my third row, and we've only been here 30 minutes. You guys are fantastic. You guys are amazing. So tell me what all holiday plans you guys have. Are you guys already planning for Thanksgiving? Are you already planning for Christmas? Are you already planning for New Year's? Are you traveling this holiday season? What is your holiday looking like? Or do you have no plans at all? Or you don't plan until closer to? What does your holidays look like? I know this holiday season we're not going to be able to travel. 6 p.m. Mountain, yes, that would be 7 p.m. your time. 6 p.m. here is 7 p.m. your time. So yeah, if that would work for you, that would work perfectly. She's already planning both. Ooh, Thanksgiving and Christmas. Woohoo! We have not planned ours yet, but we know we're not traveling because traveling and Wyoming winters are kind of a sketchy subject. You don't really plan for traveling in the winter time here because the moment that you plan something far enough out in advance, that's when the winter weather is going to hit. If you don't plan for it, like you don't plan anything, you might get away with actually getting to do it. You plan short term here. You don't plan long term. Not if you want to actually make it. Guys, we have 25 viewers. I am so stoked. You guys are fantastic. Kathy says, works perfectly for me, perfect for her. Told children to all get together and find a day they're all off work and we could do it then. That works perfectly. Susan says, being in a hotel probably for Thanksgiving, so most likely travel to my brother's in Western Washington. Okay. That sounds like a plan. My husband is one of those that if we know you And we know you're going to be. Thank you, Kathy. She says, hit that like button, everyone. Yes, please, 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 please do. Or hit dislike. I don't mind. Just hit one of those buttons. Let YouTube know you're interacting with me. That's all I ask. Just interact with YouTube. I'm up in the fan up just a notch. It's getting hot in here. Let's see. Laura says, I don't need a plan. Everyone always comes to my house. My sister doesn't like to entertain, so I get every holiday. I don't really mind, but I wonder what it would be like to just bring a side dish. Well, Laura, what you do, don't tell your family that I had anything to do with this, first and foremost. I will plead the fifth. I do not claim the rights to this idea. Okay? If you do what I do, like when I didn't have a husband for a short period of time, if you do what I do, you never have to worry about that again. What you do is you start calling the people that know how to cook, and you go, how do you do this? Or you ask, how do you do that? And then when they say you boil water, you go, how long do I boil the water before, or how long do I put the water on before it boils? Of course, you've already got a track record, so I can't help you on that part. I can't help you fix the track record part. But if you if you just act like you don't really know what you're doing, everybody else will be happy to bring something. And then all you have to do is the turkey or the ham or whatever. You don't have to do all the extras because you're like, you like mayonnaise in yours, don't you? You like your mayonnaise in your deviled eggs? She said, I'm the only one that can cook. Oh, that's awful. I see that I have hair like sticking out. So that's what I'm messing with, guys. I am so sorry. I'm seeing myself on the camera. Kathy says, our family's gotten so big we have a hard time getting in one house. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Kathy says that her sister gets sick every year at the holidays. Of course she does. She learned it from me. No, I'm just kidding. She didn't learn it from me. I am not that person. Now, you know that you can't cook when you are the person that when you ask what you can bring and they tell you to bring the plastic silverware and the paper plates, the styrofoam plates. You know, if you're the person that gets told to bring the ice, you know you're not the person that cooks. And so what's really funny is, so every year at my grandmother's, once I moved out and was like on my own, like husband and all that mess, yes, I was traveling from North Alabama, so it was like a long trip. Yes, I get that part. But, you know, I was never the one that had to bring anything. My family just told me to bring the ice, or they told me to bring the silverware, or the paper plates, or bring paper towels. Like, I was to bring the shelf-stable item that didn't have to be cooked or prepped or carried in any kind of temperature. It was fantastic. Can I cook? Yes, I can. Do I like to? No, not really. I don't enjoy it. But my husband does. So, you know, my husband made the mistake the first year at the family gathering to make his white chocolate bread pudding. And my mom and grandmother fought over the recipe. And now he's part of the cooking crew. So, like, if we were to go down there, we don't do that now because obviously we're in Wyoming. But if we had to go, he would be cooking. I would just be sitting somewhere else because everybody shoves me out of the kitchen. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I can sew their outfits so that they can be in the kitchen looking pretty. Let's see. Kathy says that she doesn't blame her because we all pile into her house because it's the largest, but we all bring a dish. We tell my stepmom to bring the ice. Oh, love it. I love it. That's fantastic. I am the one, like, if I make something, I don't ever, like, you don't tell me what I'm making. I will tell you what I'm making. Like, it's not even, like, I don't want to make what everybody tells me to make. Like, you guys, if they told me to make green bean casserole, then they are not part of my family because they know I won't make it. Like, it is not my dish. I do not make green bean casserole. My husband makes it, but I don't make it. They wouldn't ask me to make stuffing. They wouldn't ask me to, like, there's a lot of things they just wouldn't ask me to make. But if I make something, I would make a dessert, and I choose what I make, and I just put down that I'm going to make a dessert. And it's dealer's choice. What do I feel like making a few days beforehand? Laura says, my husband never knew what good food tasted like. We wouldn't even ask his mom to bring ice. She would have found a way to mess that up. Oh, wow. Okay, so here's a good one for you. I want ideas. Okay, for someone who does not cook, it would have to be something that my husband can make, which his repertoire of let's just assume he's not a French pastry chef, okay? We'll just put it that way. Let's just assume he's not that, because he's not. I need some Halloween dish ideas. I need something that my husband could make, or, you know, if I felt like making it, I could make. There would be a sweet treat to take to a party. I need a Halloween idea. Kathy says, I've already had my children place an order. His son requested the green bean casserole and turkey dressing. They bring the canned cranberry sauce because I make homemade. That's funny. See, we don't eat the homemade cranberry sauce either. My husband and I are very much the canned cranberry sauce camp. I know everybody has got their own reasons, but I am definitely the canned cranberry sauce camp person. Because it's consistently the same flavor and texture every time, and I never have to guess. Witch's fingers. Tell me what I'm doing. If I were to make them, tell me what I'm doing. Laura says, Kathy is the truth. My mom didn't cook either. My grandma taught me everything. Oh, cool. Katie's asking Jess what day is best of Facebook Messenger this upcoming week. So you guys need to catch up. You guys need to catch up. And Jess, I do want you on my channel coming up soon. But I'm thinking it'll probably be beginning of December. So carve out some time for me. I want to bring you on in December. Kathy says, funny thing, I can make the can type. All I have to do is boil longer and strain. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I have no idea. I wouldn't have known that. Now, I have made some Jell-O dishes and such, but I'd like something that's like finger food kind of thing. So witch's fingers, whatever the heck those are, those sound fantastic. They're popcorn balls shaped into fingers with candy corn as the nail. Ooh, that might work. That might work. I'm thinking of the people at this party. It might work. Katie's going to break out her grandmother's quilt so she can date the fabric. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. Judy says, my job is to bring the turkey and dressing. Oh my gosh. You have to bring it? So that means you're cooking it and then bringing. Oh my gosh. My hat is off to you, Judy. My hat is off to you. I told my husband something the other day, and guys, I have never seen him more shocked in his life. And I know I've told him this before, but he was super shocked. We were at Walmart, our favorite second home, and we were in the food section. Or no, we were at the local grocery store. We weren't at Walmart. We were at the local grocery store. And they had a couple of turkeys. And of course, you know, me, bargain shopper, I'm looking at prices already. And I looked at him and said, do you know I've never cooked a turkey? Guys, you could have picked his jaw up off the floor. I have honestly never made a turkey. I've never cooked a turkey. It's like never been my thing. I've never had to. I've always been married to someone who could do it. So I never had to bother. So I wouldn't know the first thing about cooking a turkey. Alright, so now I gotta look for which row I am cutting off, because I've gotten out of order. Okay, it's this one. I need this row. Let's see. Susan says that she used to make her homemade cranberry sauce. Those in my family who like cranberry sauce loved it. Oh, I bet they did. Hoping Thomas and Blaze will be able to find a place to go and eat a Thanksgiving meal. There are quite a few places, Katie. And usually they need to start looking maybe about a week or two before Thanksgiving. If they're looking for a free meal, some of the churches do. If they're looking for a purchase meal, there are usually reservations at places that are going to offer them. I have eaten at, there was one place that my mother-in-law, my late ex-mother-in-law, used to get reservations at every year, and it's never been my thing. It's kind of awkward for me, but they did that too. Let's see. Kathy says that she's quit with the whole turkey. Just buy a turkey breast now. That's more than enough because my kids don't eat it. They prefer ham. Ooh, okay. Now we do, here's how traditional my family is. And my husband kind of like fell into the tradition, the tradition side of it. We do turkey at Thanksgiving, and then we do ham for Christmas. And then we use leftover ham pieces for our beans, for our black eyed peas for New Year's. There's a Piccadilly there. They serve Thanksgiving dinner, or at least the one here does. There probably is in the Atlanta metro area. There probably is a Piccadilly. Piccadilly is one. Denny's is also another one that, I've actually eaten at Denny's. If there is a, iron skillet at like a Petro, or there's another one that's at, what is it called? If I wasn't trying to think, at the TA truck stops, they will typically have Thanksgiving meals, and you don't have to register for those. Yeah, I would, Katie, definitely make a pillowcase for a vintage quilt to store it in. That would be a safer way to store it. Kathy says soup bones. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. How much does a Thanksgiving meal cost at places that serve it? Do you know? It depends on the metro area where you're dealing with. I would expect that a Thanksgiving meal, if you're paying for it, is going to run about about $25 per person. But there should be more advertising coming up in November. At Christmas, I do ham and Cornish hen for my daughter and granddaughter. They don't like ham. Ooh, I don't think I've had a Cornish hen. Welcome in, it's Kennedy. She says, hello, Alabama and everyone. Tom can cook a meal so big he can feed the whole U.S. Army. Okay, now if you guys did not know, it's Kennedy is a local, and she ate Thanksgiving dinner with us last year. Oh yeah. Let's see, Lori Clark says that she served the real version of the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation several times. Okay, so my family has a story, and I was really young, so I don't remember it. Dry crispy turkey, says Lori. So what my aunt, who does not cook, my aunt does not cook, and she is blonde. Welcome in, Susie. She says we usually have fried turkey. So what my aunt and I think her sister did, I want to say it was her sister. If I had to bet, it would be her sister. This sounds like something her sister would do. So my aunt married into the family. She did not grow up cooking. She was cooking a Thanksgiving turkey one year, you guys. And I don't know who all was eating it, so don't ask. I don't know. I was super young, so it's not, this has been told to me. They showed up, Somebody asked, what did you stuff your turkey with? And guys, they left in all the stuff that came in the bag. And they told whoever it was that had asked them, they said, well, it already came with stuffing. That would be my kind of cooking experience the first time or two. I would probably do something just like that. If I wasn't thinking straight. Kathy says if her husband is in, we do a fried turkey in the oilless fryer. I don't blame you. Oh, yeah, no, I have never cooked a turkey. I've never cooked a ham. Am I confident that I could probably do it? Yeah, I probably could. Jess will be back in a few. Absolutely, Jess. I probably could cook a turkey. I could probably cook a ham. Would it be something fantastic that you'd write home about? Probably not. It would probably be along the lines of, I followed the directions on the packaging. There's no, there's no fresh turkey option. Like, if I have to defeather or anything, it's not even an option. So, like, I would have to follow the packaging directions, and that would be, like, as much seasoning as it got. So, it would be a flavorless turkey, probably, but it would be cooked. It would be thoroughly cooked, and it wouldn't be burnt. Kathy says that she stuffs with apples, butters, and onions. I don't know what all my husband stuffs the turkey with. I know the ham, he puts a whole bunch of pineapple on it. And I don't remember what else he uses. So I just know that he takes care of all of that, and I stay out of the way. That is my contribution. I do the mashed potatoes, I will do the stuffing, and I do the desserts. Everything else, like the deviled eggs, the green bean casserole, opening the jar or opening the can of cranberry sauce, that is all on my husband. That is his job. Let's see. Susan says that she had a teacher at grade school that she worked at invite her over to her family's Thanksgiving dinner. They made me feel like I was family. Oh, that is awesome. She said it was so nice. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We had an experience when we were out on the road. My husband was driving, and he was really he was struggling. He was very much struggling. He is very much a be at home for the holidays kind of person. And we weren't being home for the holidays. We weren't going to be home for Thanksgiving or Christmas that year. We were going to be staying out because, finances and all of that. And I signed up through Meals on 18 Wheels. Meals on 18 Wheels is now closed. They are no longer in operation. But they were a networking thing on Facebook, and they were run on Facebook. So you would go and you would put in where you were going to be, and if you were there morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever, if you were going to be there all day, how many people were in your truck, and then the locals that were in your area could sign up to bring you a meal. And so we signed up our last year to be, to bring meals, and no truckers showed up. So it was what it was. Let's see. Judy says that she used a cooking bag for her turkey. Comes out moist every time, I bet. Let's see. Laura says that she does turkey and ham for Thanksgiving, and prime rib and ham for Christmas, plus buttermilk mashed potatoes, corn casserole, and sweetbread. That is a lot of food. Let's see. Sister cooked her first turkey with a bag of giblets left inside. She called me and wanted to know what the heck it was. That was my aunt. She did that. And they got famous in the family for having done that. It was hilarious. Let's see. Judy says, are you ready, Judy's? Let's see. Kathy says, when I was a young mama, I did the whole 9 and had no idea how to cook. But I pulled out my grandmother's cookbook, and miraculously it came out fine. I've been cooking with my aunt since standing, but I'd never cooked alone. I cook alone when I do stuff. So, like my potatoes, like my mashed potatoes, or whatever potato dish I'm going to do, I do that all by myself. But it takes me longer than everybody else. Like, I can't, like, I know other people like can get stuff started, and then they'll start on their potatoes and get them started, and then they've got time to start on everything else. I can't do that. I have to like take my time. So the only things that I am cooking on Thanksgiving or Christmas Day is the mashed potatoes and the stuffing, and I've already pre-cooked everything that I could for the stuffing. So like the cornbread is already pre-cooked, like everything. Like I do everything that I can in advance, so that all I have to do day of is the very little bit. Rob says that he also does prime rib for both Thanksgiving and Christmas. I don't blame you. It sounds good. It sounds very good. Now my pumpkin pie. Let me talk about my pumpkin pie for a minute. My pumpkin pie, I do from scratch. I don't use anything from a box or a can for my pumpkin pie. Of course, okay, so I do use flour and I do use butter. Like I use the basic ingredients, but like I don't use canned pumpkin. I roast my pumpkins, like all of this stuff. Like I do it all in order to do my pumpkin pie from scratch, and it turns out fantastic, but I can't eat that much pumpkin pie. Sorry, sneezing. Let's see. My anticipated Thanksgiving and Christmas count for my house so far is 17. Well, make it 18 if you'll fly me down, Kathy. Make it 19 if you'll fly me and my husband. Laura says, I told my sister who lives in Iowa, just keep adding butter until it tastes good. That's funny, Laura. Kathy says, some things have to be completely scratched. They are better completely scratched. I'll put it that way. They don't have to be, but they are definitely better. The first year that I made my pumpkin pie from scratch, my sister-in-law ate one slice and took home the rest of the pie. Like, she would not leave it with me. She's like, I will bring you back your dish, but I'm taking the rest of this. Like, it was immediately, like, she's not giving it up. And so I have my own recipe. Like, I do half size. Like, I can do all of it. There's some things that I just make, and it is so much better and easier to just make it from scratch. Susan says, I still remember my first time cooking a big holiday meal as a fairly new mother of two. Spent days planning the cooking times, what temps to cook at, etc. Miraculously, everything turned out. See, that would be my problem, is I do not have the ability, because I do not have the stamina to be able to do it. So what would happen is I would cook. Rob is calling it a night. Absolutely, Rob. Have a good evening, sir. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Thank you. Be safe. Keep us posted, please. Keep us posted. Kathy says that she makes a pumpkin turtle cheesecake pie from scratch. I might need that recipe, Kathy. I am not a cheesecake person, but I make a fantastic cheesecake. My ex-mother-in-law said one beautiful thing. Judy is also off to bed. Good night, Judy. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Sleep well. My ex-mother-in-law said something very beautiful to me one time, and it has stuck with me every time since. She despises cheesecake. She absolutely despises cheesecake. Lori, she said, be right back. Now I'm hungry. Love it. Good evening, Sean. He says, good day. Let's see. Kathy says that it's been years since she's made it. It would be a huge hit. It would be a huge hit around here. Now, again, I don't eat cheesecake, but I will guarantee you I can make a killer cheesecake. And I don't make... So my mother-in-law... my mother-in-law had said the secret to her cheesecake coming out beautiful and tasty and everybody loved it every time was the fact that she doesn't eat cheesecake. Like, she didn't taste it, so she followed the recipe and did everything exactly the way it was supposed to be. So that was her that was her way to be successful. Susie says hopefully she will have a completed kitchen by the holidays. Oh, I hope so. You have been waiting a while for that. You have been waiting a while. Helen is off to bed. Good night, Helen. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Y'all make sure to hit that thumbs up or thumbs down before you leave if you are headed off to bed. If you've not already headed off. Make sure YouTube knows that you like the content you're seeing on my channel. I appreciate every little bit of it. Here in my spooky studio. Susan says that she doesn't like cheesecake, doesn't like pumpkin pie either. She made a pumpkin cheesecake and she liked it. Ooh. Well, maybe that would be the one thing that would turn it around for me. I think the turtle part of it would turn it around for me. Because I really do kind of like the caramel and pecan kind of stuff going on. Kathy says that hers wasn't like a cheesecake. The cheesecake part was mixed with pumpkin and it was so creamy. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. I made, for our last Thanksgiving, I made pecan pie topped brownies. And that was the fantastic, that one came out so freaking hilariously good. In case you can believe it, freaking hilariously good. Yeah, something like that. It came out really, really tasty. Really tasty. I love pecan pie. I'm not a huge fan of chocolate, so I was worried about the brownie part, but it was absolutely delicious. Sean says that he hit the thumbs up on the way in. Awesome! Now, I picked up a channel today, and I had never seen the channel before. The lady and her mom, or the lady who runs the channel, she is based in Australia. I don't know exactly where in Australia. I will have to look up the information because I just caught her channel today, watched one 20-minute video. It was fantastic. Kathy says that she is out. She could stay and talk all night, but 4:30 is early. Yes, it is, Kathy. Have a good evening. She says have fun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here and hanging out. I appreciate it. All right, we are down to 2 rows left. So I've got to get this row taken off so I can attach it to the sashing. We'll have 1 more row with sashing and 1 more row to attach. We are not doing too bad, you guys. This is going fantastic. So I have my client's quilt to finish tomorrow. I'm going to have hand sewing to sew on the ties on it. And I will have I'll have some embroidery stuff to do tomorrow. I will definitely do that, Sean. I will definitely look and actually, I wonder if I can look right now. Let me see if I can or not. Let's see if YouTube likes me enough to show me my watch history. Let's go see. Let's go see. There we go, history. It was Rachel Brandon. Rachael and last name Brandon. The video that I watched today was Mom's Completed Scrappy Quilt Top, and I could hear your accent all through the channel. It was so reassuring to listen to. And it was a good video, fantastic video. It was not a live or anything like that. I don't know if she goes live. It's just my first time happening upon her channel. So of course, you know, it was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. But yeah, so what do I have going on? Okay, so Tuesday night we are giving away the Sew and Tell giveaway quilt. And I do have some more giveaway surprises. So the giveaway quilt, you do not have to be present to win. If you have entered Sew and Tell, you are automatically entered. If you've not entered Sew and Tell, it is too late to enter for this quilt. You guys, people who entered for Sew and Tell giveaway, they are getting 32 entries apiece. One person entered 32 different images into the Sew and Tell giveaway or during their entries for Sew and Tell. And so everybody is getting 32 entries for Sew and Tell. That is across 6 months. Okay. So We already have one entry for the next cycle that starts in November. So first Tuesday in November is our next Sew and Tell. So there is already one entry for that. It was one, they forgot to put the word Sew and Tell. They went back and added them. So now they are entered, or they're going to be going into the next one that I'll be giving away in April. Let's see. Katie says that she forgot to send me her new Sew and Tell entry. Yep. You got to send it in order for me to get it. And it is due by 3 p.m. Mountain Time on Tuesdays, on the first Tuesday of the month. So if you get it in after then, it does go to the next month. Now, you've got 6 months total to get in. So the last drawing will be the first Tuesday of April. So the next giveaway will be the second Tuesday of April. Okay, back to the kitchen to wash dishes for packing. We'll listen though. Absolutely, Susan. Absolutely. I am not jealous of you having to pack. I was telling someone else about that, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, are you serious?" I was like, "Yep." Rachel is near Brisbane. Okay, that works. I had no idea. I just knew that I picked up on that accent immediately. I knew it was an Australian accent, and I was just kind of glued to it. I was glued. And the quilts were adorable, too. She got her mom to get back into the quilting bug, at least for this quilt, and do a scrappy quilt with her. And for that video that I was just talking about, that I just watched today on Rachel's channel, her mom had dyed some thread for hand sewing and hand embroidery work, and it's fantastic to see those kinds of projects. So I know this is super bright, you guys. I apologize. I have to be able to see, and this is the lowest that this light will go. My machine only lets me go to 50% power on this light, and that light is still fantastic enough that I can't see half of the stuff in my room clearly, but I can see everything in front of my presser foot just beautifully. So these machines are fantastic. It's just horrible for the camera. So I do apologize for that. So let's see, I've got a couple of shirts to give away. We've got a couple of keychain tags, I think. Zipper pull tags, I think, left over. So we will be giving those away. I have some Villa Rosa patterns that I will be giving away. Let's see, trying to think of what else I got to give away. I have some more stuff in there, I think, to give away as well. So just stay tuned. Tuesday is a giveaway day. Tomorrow's my birthday, so you guys are getting presents tomorrow. You guys are getting presents Tuesday for my birthday. I like the way that works. Glenda says, sorry I'm not chatty, been listening. Oh, no worries. I understand that. I was chatty earlier in Tiffany's live, and then had to stop being chatty because I was done eating and needed to be sewing. It was either sew or chat. And I had to kind of choose to sew. Otherwise, there's no way I would be to this point by now. Earlier, I was still attaching the sashing in between the blocks so that I would have my rows. So that was what I was working on earlier. And then tomorrow, once I get done doing some of the embroidery I've got going, and get my handwork done on my client's quilt. I love it, Sean. Thank you. He said happy 29th birthday, Tammy. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love being 29. Or I will love being 20. We're going to see how being 29 is starting tomorrow. Oh, it's a fantastic birthday. So at the quilt show, I ran into a group of people that were also from Casper, and were also in one of the groups that I sew in. And I got sung happy birthday to on Saturday at the quilt show. And then ran into a couple of other people that I knew. that were happy to see me. So that was super exciting to be able to reconnect with people I had not seen in several months and that still recognized me. Not that I don't stand out with my pink glasses and my service dog. The service dog kind of stands out a little bit. He's kind of a celebrity in his own right. But I had a fantastic time at the show. I did see some Lori Holt stuff that I was interested in. There was a Farm Girl vintage quilt. Sean is headed to bed. He says, nice hanging out with you for a few. Absolutely, Sean. Be planning for Fab Farm in January. Actually, we'll see what happens. You have a good night, Sean. Thank you for being here, sir. We are starting Fab Farm in January. Don't have the exact schedule on how I'm going to do that yet, because we will still be doing Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. So we will explore the options coming up closer to January. And then we're also going to be doing temperature quilt, and we'll still be continuing with Land That I Love. So we will have a lot of projects going on by January. Oh, I will, Sean. He says, oh yes, keep me posted about the Fab Farm. Yes, I will. Absolutely. Absolutely. We might make an exception and do once a month Saturday mornings for Fab Farm. That might be an option. That might be an option. I'm not sure if it'll be 6 a.m., but we'll see what we can do. We'll figure something out. Alright, my last sashing, guys. And then we'll have one more row to put on here. And then the center part will be done. I'll need to press it and measure before I make the outside borders to just make sure. Let's see how it's going. Rayanne, so sorry I was seeing you at the show. My body was telling me to find a seat. Oh, you are fine, Rayanne. If I did not have my wheelchair with me on Saturday, I would not have made it through that show. It was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. But I definitely needed the wheelchair. There was no way I was going to make it without it. And then having the wheelchair also ensured that I was able to safely drive myself home and be independent and all of that kind of stuff. All the stuff that, disabilities can sometimes take away from you. Accepting that I needed that help, put that back on my plate. So even though, not every vendor, okay, so here's one thing that I will say. If you were ever at a quilt show and you see someone, yes, right, 388 quilts a seat, and I did miss a few. I did miss them. I thought I saw every quilt, and no, I did not. I can assure you I did not, because I saw a picture after the fact, and it was like, wait a minute, where was that quilt? Because I didn't see it. But if you were at a quilt show, and this is anywhere in the country or outside the country or wherever you are, if you were at a quilt show and you see someone in a wheelchair, unless they look like they are actually struggling, go ahead and don't assume that they need help with something, because then it can kind of seem pushy. I had one lady moving a wagon out of my way, and the wagon had discounted quilt kits. I wanted to see the discounted quilt kits, but she was moving it further away from me to move it out of what she perceived was in my way. So I had to explain to her that I was actually looking at what she was moving as she was moving it away. Another booth that I went to might have been set up well enough for a manual wheelchair. If somebody was pushing someone in a manual wheelchair, there might have been enough room. But the tables are really, really close together. And in order to get to the back section of the booth, which had half of the merchandise that the vendor had at the sale, I was barely able to squeeze in between the tables, and so she was having to move something to allow me a little bit of extra passing room, because she didn't anticipate an electric wheelchair and the space that's needed for a wheelchair to pass through on its own. Somebody in a manual wheelchair might be able to navigate it a little bit better. But then again, in a manual wheelchair, you have to have your arms down by your side and maneuvering the wheels. So I'm not necessarily sure that a manual wheelchair would have been a better option. Not that I could have done a manual wheelchair, because I would have been just as exhausted as if I'd been walking. But the booth really was not set up very well at all. In order to get out of the booth, the tables, the armrests on my electric wheelchair aren't any more out than the wheels on my electric wheelchair. So they're parallel to the wheels. So it's not wider at the top or anything like that than it is at the bottom. But in order to pass through the booth, my armrests were rubbing the tables. And my controls on my electric wheelchair are attached to one of the armrests. So I couldn't just flip my armrest out of the way and still navigate forward, because I still needed to access at least one of my two armrests. And the other armrest, even flipped out of the way, really wouldn't have been out of the way. It still would have been enough in the way. So if you are at a quilt show, if you see booths that are not set up that might not be accessible, if you know the owner of the booth or you feel comfortable talking to them, just go, hey, by the way, have you thought about whether or not someone in a wheelchair could access your booth? Just ask them the simple question. Don't make it a confrontation, but asking them the simple question of, do you know if your booth is accessible, will get them to start thinking about it. I could have stopped from going into the booth that had the half of the merchandise that I wanted to go see. But I decided to go ahead and push forward and push into the booth so that I could see what I wanted to see. Because I knew that as soon as I did push into the booth and the lady that was running the booth saw that, it was not set up very well for someone in a wheelchair to access, that would stick in her mind. And so maybe next time when she sets up a booth, that will be something she will think about. So I'm not saying that, everybody isn't thinking about accessibility, but there were definitely a couple of snafus I ran into where, it may not be very common for them to see someone in an electric wheelchair, or even see, or maybe they don't think about people being in wheelchairs and being at a quilt show, but it is becoming more common. So it was kind of important to me to make sure to kind of make the point of, I could access your booth, but it was really uncomfortable to do it. And I did find some stuff there I wanted to buy, but again, I was having trouble turning back around and then going to the register. Would have been going back through the same section that I really struggled to fit through the first time. So I ended up not buying anything at that booth solely because it was too hard to navigate. And I am still new to navigating my electric wheelchair, so some of that could be on me, just being uncomfortable still using the electric wheelchair, but I know it wasn't just me that it was not accessible. So, next time you go to a quilt show, bring it up to the booth people, bring it up to a vendor. If you see something that you don't think would be accessible for someone in a wheelchair to navigate, we know to ask for help if something's out of her reach and so on and so forth. But just go ahead. That would be the best way to help someone that was in a chair or whatever. Laura says some vendors don't take wheelchairs into consideration when designing their booths. No, they don't. She said she had to use a wheelchair at the last show she went to, and there were many that I missed because of accessibility. Yeah, there's a lot of it. Vendors really don't think about... vendors, in order to be a vendor at most of these kinds of shows, and this is a generalization, so just, keep that in mind. This is a generalization, but most vendors are able-bodied people who have the ability and the stamina to stand, stretch, reach, lift, carry, and all this other stuff, because they have to in order to set these booths up. It is really incredibly difficult. It would be incredibly difficult for me using a wheelchair, especially if I needed it full time. It would be incredibly difficult for me to be a vendor and set things up. I would need a lot of help to do it. Okay, hang on. Lori says, Tammy, I hear you. I take my wheelchair-bound buddy everywhere. And then she was correcting rock concerts, conventions. Yeah, absolutely. Jack is ripping onto your words. I love it. That's funny. Yeah, there's a lot of places that just don't take things into consideration. Because the people who are planning the event or planning the booth or setting it up are able-bodied people. And the majority of the people who go to the events are going to be those able-bodied people as well. So 95, or well, not even 95%, probably about 75% of the people that go to these kinds of events, quilt shows and the like, are able-bodied people. That means about 25% of the customers that are there might need some kind of assistance. Now, whether or not those 25% accept assistance or use an assistive device or whatever, that's a whole nother issue too. Let's see. More Northern Lights posted, y'all. Awesome, Katie. What kind of lights are you using, Tammy? In here, I have two different sets of lights. I have LED lights that are all the way around the outside edge of my room. Jess is back. Welcome, welcome. And then my lights that are in my light fixture that are normally very bright and set to white are actually set, one is set to a purple, the other is set to cycling through colors. It's supposed to be a slow cycle, and I'm guessing it's like 10 seconds now. I thought it was supposed to be longer than that, but it is what it is. It's cycling through colors. They're both LEDs. They're both Wi-Fi programmable LEDs. So they are LED lights, but they tend not to give me any issues with being on these color settings. I'm getting a little bit of a headache, but I won't be doing that like every day. This is a Sunday night thing through the end of October. This is a special thing for October. Gotta love October. I love October. It's my month. It's my month. It's my birthday month. It's my month. Even if my birthday is early in the month, it's still my birthday month. Jess was uploading a video. Yay! That's exciting. That is exciting. Guys, I'm actually almost done with this. I'm incredibly impressed. I'm impressed. So you guys will end up seeing this in the weird lights. You won't see it in the regular lights, but you guys will see this in the weird lights here in just a minute. I will pull it up and you guys get to see what this looks like. And I do still have to add an outside border, so please remember that it's not 100% done. Susan says that she's in the quilt show committee for the guild here. We'll try to remember to mention making the show handicap accessible. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing, like, you know how the quilts might be set up where you walk into a section and you look at quilts in front of you, and then you have quilts behind you and you have quilts beside you. You know, those are usually set up wide enough. It is usually the vendors. It is usually the vendors themselves that are setting up their booths very tight. And some of that is due to the amount of space. I mean, vendors are paying for their space based off of, you know, like, you know, you get a 10 by 10 foot booth. That's not a lot of space. And so a lot of vendors don't think about accessibility when they design their booths. Susan says 2 more boxes packed and she's stopping for the night. I don't blame you. Laura says October is my birthday month as well. I love this time of the year. Absolutely. And so Jess So Blessed by Jess says, yay for birthday month. Yes, exactly. All right. So Beauty is now on echo mode. She is turned down. All right, let's see how far I can back up. Okay, that's as far as my chair will back up. So let me see where my top is. That's one version. Ooh, did I put my top that way? Did I do that? Did I? Please tell me I did not mess that up. I don't think I did. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. I'm looking at it in reverse, guys. I'm looking at it in reverse. Let me actually bring you guys off of this. Older daughter's birthday month as well, says Susan. Awesome. Yay. I love October. I love October. All right. So there are 6 blocks in this quilt. And if you guys can start to see, they go diagonally down the quilt. So there's 6 blocks per row. There's 6 blocks per row, and all 6 blocks are on each row. Laura says both of her sisters are October babies too. Well, we know what your parents like to do. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so woohoo! We now have a quilt top assembled. This is like I said before, I still have borders. Let me go grab my borders so you guys can kind of see. Let me grab them. They're not far away. They're off camera, but they're not far. Let's see. My outside borders are this dark blue fabric. It's not going to show up super perfectly on the camera because, again, we have the funky lights going right now. But I'm going to have to attach the borders to themselves. I'm going to have to attach the border strips to make the border. But so it's going to have an additional border on the outside edge. So the sashing is not going to... Laura says, it was cold in February and cabin fever set in, right? Right? So we're going to have this dark blue border on the outside edges. So I will get that put on probably Tuesday. I don't think I'm going to have time tomorrow. But probably Tuesday. Jess says, amazing. Hope mine looks just as beautiful. I'm working on the last 2 blocks. The last 2 are kind of fun, depending on which ones your last 2 are. Let's see. Glenda says, awesome. Laura says, beautiful. Beautifully done. Tammy says, Susan. Kennedy says, good job. Thank you. You guys are awesome. All right, I'm going to show you something else. While I am here, hang on, because I got stuffs. All right, I cannot show you these fully done because, again, I don't have all the ties on the middle section. And, of course, again, I know the lighting is set to the funky lights, okay? I get it. But my clients' quilts are completely bound. And look at the border choice he went with, guys. Ah, there we go. 4 and 5. Okay, those are easier. 2 and 3 were the harder 2. But look at this border, guys. Do you like this bottom border? Can't see the comments, I'm sorry. So, that is what is going on his railing inside his townhome. So, this top does not have a border. And let me get my camera out of the way before I knock it down like I did my drink. And we'll put my drink back up and not open it for a little bit. Alright, so this top does not have a border, okay? The sides and the bottom have a border, but the top does not have a border. The top has straps, it has ties, and what's going to happen, let's see if I can show you. The top is going to go over the railing, kind of like this. And so, let's see, I've got some safety pins right here. So it's going to be folded over about this far on the top, and so there's going to be an additional tie that matches each of the current ties so that it can be tied onto the railing. So on the back side, where you're looking at it from the back side of the railing, like the top of the stairs or the top of the master suite, you'll see this top here, and then you will see this light gray backing, and the ties are made out of the same fabric as this backing material. Okay, so this backing material is a different color to everything that is in the front of the quilt, but that is what you're going to see from the ground level. So you won't see the top binding section, but you will see that, and you'll see the bottom borders at bottom and sides. All right. Laura says your client will be thrilled with that. I hope so. He picked everything out. Susan says, wow. Susie says, very nice. Joyce says, that turned out amazing. Looks wonderful, says Jess. Glenda says, beautiful. Susie says, falling asleep, so we'll say goodnight. Absolutely, Susie. I totally understand. Now, with both of these quilts, the railing does bend. So we'll have a section of this going, and then there will be a section of the railing that bends, like goes around the corner. So what I've done is, anytime there's a corner, I'm going to attach a super long tie that's going to tie in to the next ties over on either side. So it's going to be a double-sided tie. So it can be tied off to both sides and form a clean corner at the corners. So I got two of these. Two of these are done. One is 158 inches long. The other, I believe, if my math is right, it's 138 inches long. I haven't redone the math on it. Absolutely, Joyce. She says, good night, all. Everyone, see y'all Tuesday. Absolutely. I won't keep y'all too much longer, but I told you guys I found the magic pins that have the numbers and letters on them. So this is what the case looks like. The side that you guys are seeing right now is the letters. So A through E have like 5 per letter. F through H, I, J. Let's see. F through J have 3 per, and then K through N have 2. And the case opens like that. So like A, B, and C, like this is the C. I know it's kind of hard to see, especially in these lights, but these are little straight pins from Magic Pins. So the letters are on one side. And then Candace, welcome in. She says, hello everyone. It's a late night for you. And then the other side is numbers 1 through 12. And then the arrows that go right or left. So that is one of the things that I picked up also at the quilt show on Saturday. Fantastic buy. I'm going to love these because they're going to come in handy with the Elizabeth Hartman Fab Farm. And what else? There was one other that we're going to be working on that's going to come in handy. You won't need it for the temperature quilt. There's one other project that I've got planned that this will come in handy. So yeah, that was one thing I managed to pick up at the quilt show. But yeah, so that's what I've done this past week, or this past weekend, since I saw you guys yesterday morning. So I will have my client quilts finished up and delivered by Tuesday morning, so you guys will not get to see them in person. I will try my best to have pictures. One thing that we talked about doing, we talked about it yesterday morning, and I'm not sure we talked about it Tuesday. You guys can help me out, and if you guys remember, the New Year's Day sew-along, the New Year's Day mystery quilt by Stitch in Heaven. I'm going to see what I can do about us doing a Zoom for New Year's Day. So we are actually Zooming all day while the Stitch in Heaven is playing in the background. so we can kind of hang out and get that quilt stitched up and do that as our New Year's Day kind of thing. Candace says, I need a quilt show fix. Almost drove to Nashville Saturday for their expo. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have been waiting for this quilt show. When I moved to Wyoming, it was the first quilt show that I really kind of heard about. Like, I knew about the state fair, and I entered the state fair, and you know, it is what it is, but it's not a quilt show. It's a fair. It's not a quilt show. And the county fair is the same thing. It's a fair. It's not a quilt show. And so, like, you can see beautiful quilts. You can, get your quilt fix kind of a little bit, but it's still not a quilt show. So the first quilt show I went to after I moved to Wyoming, it is always held the first weekend of October, which, having a birthday on the 7th of October means that it's really darn close to my birthday. Last year, I could actually be at the quilt show on my birthday. So, that's kind of a birthday present to me. I kind of like it. And I would not trade that for the world. So I kind of make it a point to go to that quilt show now. This is obviously only my second year here, but that will be, it's kind of on my forever plans. I'm so sorry, you guys. So Tuesday, I am going to go ahead and get off of here very soon. I'm starting to stutter, and I'm yawning, so I think it's time. But Tuesday, we are going to have a lot of live giveaways, in addition to the Sew and Tell giveaway, which is a quilt. There is a lap quilt sitting over here, waiting for a label, and so I will have it ready, and all I will need to do is finish stitching out the label and shipping it off. So that is all that is waiting on Tuesday, is to stitch the label out and ship it off. Everything else is going to be good to go. We are going to have a lot of fun giveaways. I've got some Villa Rosa quilt patterns that I'm going to give away. I have a couple of shirts that are still available for giveaway. They are size extra large. They fit like a large, so I don't have any control over the sizes. So they are what they are for size. Then I've got some zipper pulls that will be available, I believe. And I have a couple of other surprises up my sleeve, I think. As I'm thinking about it. I believe I do. I'll have to go look. It's all in my closet. It's going to get pulled out of the closet for Tuesday. And so Tuesday I may also be dressed up for early Halloween. So don't be shocked if I am not in my normal t-shirt and jeans. There's a couple costume ideas I want to try out. So we'll try them out. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I love these after sunset Sundays. They are always cathartic for me. I love, Glenda says, good night everyone, have a good night or day. Absolutely, Glenda. I love hanging out with you guys on Sunday nights. It is relaxing. Sometimes, yeah, I'm going to call it a night very, very quickly. Sometimes it's very slow. Sometimes it's not getting a lot done, but getting a little bit done. Sometimes it's getting a lot of stuff done. Sometimes it's very productive. But it is always the highlight of my week, is to end out the weekend with an after sunset Sunday. So thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate every last one of you being here and spending your time with me, spending Sunday night with me. If you've not hit a thumbs up or thumbs down, please do that. Make sure you do that on your way out. I appreciate every last one of you for being here, for chatting, for hitting those responses, letting YouTube know you like my content here. And I look forward to seeing every last one of you on Tuesday. All right. Thank you for being here, you guys.